All right, I got the Whatnot cabinet today, and this was sent to us by Pencil First Games. They're the ones that made Skull Hollow, also a great game you should check out. But the way I consider this game and how it fits into my collection is I feel like there's a new generation of gateway games out there. If I wanted to get my friends into board gaming, before I would go and get Carcassonne, Catan, Dominion, Pandemic. Those are the basic games I would try and play with them to get them interested, to get them to play more games. Today, I don't think any of those games would be on my list. My new games, the new generation of gateway games I consider are Azul, Quacks of Quedlinburg, Tiny Towns, Parks, and I think the Whatnot cabinet is another one. This is a game, and as another point, I think Codenames is another great game to play with people that don't play board games, but I wouldn't consider it a gateway game. I don't think it has enough in it to get them interested into other games. I think Codenames gets people interested in other games like Codenames. So Decrypto, Just One, those kind of games, which are all fun as well, but I think it serves a different purpose. For this video, I'm talking about the Whatnot cabinet. It fits into that into that category where I feel like games in this category need to be less than an hour. They need to have really great components and art and interesting gameplay, and the Whatnot cabinet delivers on all of those cases. It's about 20 minutes gameplay, as it says so on the box right here. You can play up to 4 players. It's really interesting. You're learning some fun things on strategy and what modern game design is like, and it's all within a great little game. So I'm gonna open it up and show you what it's like. All right, we got the makings of a great game right here. You have each of the player boards. You've got the goal cards that if you get that goal, you get that extra point or 2, depending at the top. You have the global goal card. If at the end of the game you have a bunch of bottles, you get points. So these are kind of the elements that make the game interesting beyond just the variance in itself. We've got this bag here of tiles, and this is where the game works. It revolves around these tiles. So we set them up, just pick some random ones, and now the goal of the game and the function of it is to get the most points. That's most games. But the way you get points is very intuitive once you understand the concepts of the game. There are both colors and types of objects. And the colors matter for columns. The types matter for rows. So if you have a column that you complete and it's got all the same colors, that's the ideal situation. You have all green, you're gonna get the maximum points for a column, that's 4 points. If you have one other color that's there, you get 0 points. You didn't meet the criteria. If you have everything different, you don't get the max points, but you don't get the minimum points. You get a medium amount of points. You get 2 points. And so that's the thing you do for columns. Go for all of one color, or if you can't, go for all of different color. Now for rows, similar idea. If you have all the same thing, the same type of object, and I'll show you a few examples. So you have crystal, you got shell, it's denoted by the symbol at the top. You have animal. If you have crystal, 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 that's the maximum points for a row, so you get the maximum amount of points, which is 3. If you have all different, crystal, animal, shell, you get 1 point. If you don't meet either of those, you have 2 crystals or something like that, you get no points. So by the end of the game, you'll have a point amount for every row and every column. And so you see where choosing the right things makes this game. The way you choose things is also interesting in how it's done in this game. And it's got that basic worker placement thing. Each player, so green player, orange player, blue player, goes in order of their little pawn. So green goes first. They could choose this, 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 this. These are instructions. These 5 choices are the instructions on what you do. So you, in this first column, you pick 3 tiles. You choose 2 that you put on your thing, and then discard the other one. So you don't really get to use this area. This is completely random, but at the end of this, depending on where you go, that's where your pawn goes and determines the order. So essentially, the better choices are lower down, and then it's a little balanced because then you go later in the next round. So that's that one. Now, if I want to choose from here, I see some good stuff. I can choose something like this. So it says, grab a tile, add it to this area, and then pick 2 of them. So I want to go for shell, shell. This one says add 2, and then go put them onto my little area. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be for green player. So now blue player picks crystal and crystal. Next round, boop, boop, boop. Move all these up, sorry. Get rid of these, add in new ones. Now there's a special one which has some special powers. But this is kind of the function of the game. You're just going through, and I see that I want a animal and a leaf. There's no animals or leaves, so might as well just go for the random again for green. So I'll pick 2 of these. I'll pick green, green. Since I'm not getting all the same color, I'm just going to go for all different colors. This guy really wants some choice. And so this is a special one. It gives me a special power. Just take a random one, but I get an extra point at the end of the game. So there's a lot of basic gameplay ideas here that are encompassed in this game that really doesn't take more than 20 minutes to play because the turns are so quick. The board fills up rather quick as well. The concept of the game is pretty simple and understandable, that everyone can learn what's great about board gaming through it. And I think that's what makes this game great, is the culmination of everything. The components, the art, and the gameplay mechanics. I don't think there's any one thing that makes it stand out above the others, but the culmination of all of them. If it didn't have the art, I wouldn't be as interested. If it didn't have these nice components or these nice mechanics, I wouldn't be as interested. If it lasted an hour, I don't think I would be as interested. There'd be other games that functionally do the thing that this game does, but better, that also take an hour that I would play. But because all of this is together, the art, mechanics, the time that it takes to play, it makes this game have a really nice slot on my shelf. If I want to play a game that I enjoy, which has great strategy and enjoyable pieces to play with and art to look at, this is something I'll pull off and play with maybe family visiting in town I don't normally play with. If I've got my core group of gamers, we're going to play Viticulture, we're going to play Root, we're going to play games like that. But if I'm playing with people I don't normally play with, this is one of those games I think would be easy to pull off my shelf and play. And that's why I think this is one of those new generation of gateway games that should live on everyone's shelves. So that's what I think of the Whatnot cabinet. I thoroughly enjoy playing this, and it feels very similar to Parks, where the art is amazing, the components are nice, the gameplay mechanics are there, and the time that it takes to play is just perfect. So that's it on this. Really like the thoughtful design of this box as well. Everything slots and fits in and keeps the space that it takes up very small. So that's the Whatnot cabinet. It's coming to Kickstarter soon, so check it out when it does. It's definitely worth it.